So today I'm going to be talking about how to send a Bitcoin transaction, specifically a Bitcoin transaction using the ColdCard hardware wallet. Now what's special about this is normally when you make a Bitcoin wallet, you make it on a phone or a computer that is connected to the internet. Now when you do that, your private key, which is generated when you make that wallet, is connected to a device or on a device that's connected to the internet, which is like a hot wallet. It means it's at risk. Anyone that can steal that private key now has access to all of your Bitcoin. So what you would normally do to be safe is either create a paper wallet or a computer that isn't connected to the internet at all to sign transactions, or you can use what's called a hardware wallet, which generates your private key and then can sign transactions without ever having the private key on your computer. Now, what's really cool about the ColdCard is you don't even have to connect it to your computer at all to sign the transaction. You can create the transaction on your computer, then download the unsigned transaction to the ColdCard, and then from here sign the transaction. You then re-upload it to your computer, and then you can broadcast the signed transaction to the Bitcoin network. So I'm going to be doing a step-by-step on how to do that. Let's jump in. All right, this is going to be a bit of an experiment for me. I haven't recorded this way before, and hopefully I won't record anything too sensitive. I think the way I do this, I should still keep what's important private. So to start, just like any Bitcoin transaction, you need an address to send it to. So this is one of my addresses to one of my wallets. If you want, you can send me Bitcoin to this address. This is a current working Bitcoin address. And if I do this right, I shouldn't actually send anything at the end because I'm not going to broadcast the transaction. So to start with, you need to input, just copy and paste the Bitcoin transaction. Always double check when you're doing a Bitcoin address that at least the front and the end are correct. If you don't want to try and verify the entire thing because it's kind of long, I understand. But we're going to send, we'll just say we're going to send 1,000 Satoshi. Actually, that's 1,000 Bitcoin, so let's switch that. We're going to send 1,000 Satoshi. Also, just for more detail, I'm using a program called Spectre. This is a Bitcoin application you can use as a wallet. It is connected currently to Bitcoin Core, which is a full version of the Bitcoin software that I have downloaded that has the entire blockchain on it. So I have the whole history of Bitcoin on my computer to verify my own transactions. I recommend doing that, especially if you have a lot of money in Bitcoin. You want to make sure that you know how to use it and that you are not trusting third parties or other people to verify your own Bitcoin. I also like to do coin selection normally, where I can go through my addresses and pick exactly what Bitcoin to send. Go through the UTXOs. All right, that's fine. I don't care about the fees so much. I'm just going to show the stuff. So this is our address. This is how much Bitcoin we're going to send. And we're going to create an unsigned transaction. So here we go. Here we go. Now I'm using my ColdCard. So I'm going to click on ColdCard Import and sign with SD card. So I already have my SD card plugged into the computer, and I'm going to save this transaction, unsigned transaction, to the wallet. So I'm going to go through here. I'm going to find it on my computer. An SD card, which I already have plugged into the computer. Here is the transaction. And I'm going to save that. All right, now we switch. Hold on. Now I'm going to take the SD card from my computer and I'm going to plug it into my ColdCard. All right, I'm going to switch so you can see what I'm doing on the ColdCard. Okay, so I have the ColdCard here in front of me. Now it's hard to see. There you go. You can kind of make it out now, but I've already logged in. When you boot this up, you actually have to plug it into a power source, and then you plug in your password, which is your password just to open the device itself. So once you're in here, you're going to go to, you can't really read it, but it says ready to sign, the very first option. I'm going to click OK, ready to sign. Now it's reading the transaction, OK to send. And you can scroll down through the transaction, read the details, see how many ins and outs it has, what the network fee is, which for me was, I only sent 1,000 sats and it's going to be 420 sats. And it verifies the address you're sending it to and all that. So I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to sign it. And it's signed now. And you can scroll through and verify all the data. I'm going to just hit OK. So now it's good. Now I have a fully signed transaction on this device. And I'm going to take my SD card out. And I'm going to plug this back into my computer. All right, I'll meet you back on my computer. Okay, now I'm back. I have plugged my SD card into my computer, and I'm going to upload that file, the signed transaction, to my wallet on my computer using Spectre. So now that's plugged in, and I can now send this transaction into the Bitcoin network. All right, now that has accepted that transaction, and now I can send it, broadcast it into the Bitcoin network. And assuming I've paid a high enough fee, my transaction will then be included in a block coming up into the blockchain, and it will be a permanent transaction on the network. And that is how you send a Bitcoin transaction, specifically using the ColdCard. It's the same process for basically any hardware wallet or even using a hot wallet. This just breaks it down into the smaller steps, and this version is a lot safer than using a hot wallet or even other hardware wallets that have to plug into your computer. Here my computer never touched the device. That's something I wanted to mention. It's called a cold wallet or a hardware wallet, but it's kind of a misnomer because it's not really a wallet. It doesn't store your Bitcoin. It just stores the private key, which is used to sign transactions, which proves that it's you sending these Bitcoin. All Bitcoin are public on the network. The only difference is you don't know what the private key is to send those Bitcoin or use them. So in order to do that, you need the private key. So these devices store your private key, which is really what your wallet consists of, and then it can sign transactions. So these are really signing devices is what you can think of these as. It signs transactions as you using your private key. So I want to do more of these educational videos as we go. So let me know if you have anything you'd want me to explain in detail involving Bitcoin. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.